Thanks, Jason. First, I'd like to thank all donors, fans, staff, and student athletes that are here today. Obviously, with it being packed like it is, it shows that everybody cares. Everybody cares about what our athletic department does, what football means to this institution and this community. So I'm certainly excited and appreciative of everybody being here. I want to thank Dr. Jones and the search committee for their help and support throughout the search process. I would also like to thank Kyle Bowlesby and Bowlesby Sports Advisors for the many hours and late nights and helping us with the coordination of candidate interviews and background research. I'd like to thank Coach's family, his wife Gina, his daughter Gracie. Where's Gracie? Gracie. And I know his parents, Sam and Diane, are here as well. Plus their other daughters, Emma, Audrey, and son Stanley. We're welcome to Sam. You all be great assets to the community and to the university, and we welcome you all to Natchitoches. The process was quick and deliberate. It was thorough. We had over 60 candidates for this position. They were ranged from D1 head coaches to D2 head coaches to Power 5 assistant coaches, D1 associate and assistant coaches. As I mentioned, this was a highly sought after position, and one that our candidate pool was very, very strong, and obviously we end up choosing Coach McCorkle from a great list of candidates. As we went through the search process, Coach McCorkle possessed all the qualities that we as the committee that I was looking for. One of them being I wanted a head coach that had experience turning around a program that hadn't had a lot of success. Obviously, he did that at Belhaven. His last 3 years at Belhaven, which is a program traditionally he's had 2 wins, 3 wins a year. He was 7-3, 8-2, 9-1, 9-2, I guess total with the playoff game. But showed clear progress and change within a program that hasn't had that success. Strong culture of discipline and accountability. That was one thing that I heard from a number of people that I talked to about Blaine. That he possessed that strong culture, that strong belief in the student athlete, and I want to steal some of the stuff he's going to talk about, but the discipline and the accountability of our student athletes is going to be there. He has the FCS experience. For 20 years, he coached at the FCS level some of it at 3 of the top programs in the country. Liberty at the time when they were FCS, they're now in G5. At Richmond, which is still the playoffs this year. He's been at Delaware, was just announced this week that they're going G5 as well. So he's been at the top level and knows what the success at the FCS level is. And then somebody that had ties to Louisiana and or Texas, or if you don't know those. And obviously with him playing at LSU, was a 4-year starter at long snapper, has ties back to this state, and I thought that was important. So with that being said, I know y'all didn't come here to hear me talk. I wanted to introduce my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you all fans, donors, staff, and community members, Northwestern State's 16th head football coach, Blaine McCorkle.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here, to be a part of this Northwestern State community. And personally, this has been a 26-year long dream of mine to come back to the state of Louisiana, which I love dearly, and be a Division I head football coach. So this is a dream come true today, but this is just the start. Okay, this is just the start. So I'm very happy to be here. And I've got a lot of things here. I've got some notes that I definitely want to share. I tend to get off the cuff off my notes sometimes, so if I just go there with, ball coach comes out every now and then. But first of all, I had a chance to meet with the team yesterday morning. I really enjoyed that. Hopefully they felt something a little bit new and different, okay, and that's a good thing. But the first thing I shared with them, I want to share to all of the Northwestern State community is my condolences. You guys have been through a brutal time here in the last couple of months. Your players have. Your students have, the Natchitoches community has, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry and I'm here with you, okay? And that is now a burden that I now carry and on with you, and I hope some way I could be part of the healing process here in Natchitoches, okay? And I told the players yesterday, this doesn't apply to you guys, some of the players are in the room here, and I appreciate that, but what this football team needs right now is somebody to come in and give them a big hug, okay? And I hope I can do that because we don't want to forget what has happened. We don't want to move on, but we want to move forward. So after I go a big hug, I want to turn around, kick it right in the head. Okay, because that's what this program needs right now is to go forward and go forward in a hurry. So I want to say that and acknowledge that right off the bat before I get going. There's a lot of people that I'd like to thank today, Dr. Jones, Kevin, Kyle Bowlesby, as he mentioned. A lot of other people were involved in the interview process and made it really smooth. It was very professional. It was very well run. And I thank you very much for the process. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process. I kind of get to dig deep into who I am and what I'm about, how I build a program. So thank you guys very much for that. A few other people that I want to thank. I've got a lot of mentors in coaching. I've been in this thing. I'm 47 years old. I tell people I've been in college football for 47 years. My dad's up here. He was a college coach most of my life growing up and a lot of time in high school football as well. But this is who I am. I'm a football coach. And I've got a couple of mentors out there in the world. Danny Rocco, who I worked for 10 years at Liberty of Richmond and Delaware. All three has been a tremendous mentor to me. I would say 80% of our program that you're going to see, some of the things you're going to hear me say today are a direct reflection of him and his influence on my career. Scott Walker-Nam, who is a retired coach now, who's a dear friend and mentor. Those are two guys that I can't not mention because they really helped me in this process with things to look for, and I really appreciate them. I want to thank the players at Belhaven. For 6 years, the players at Belhaven gave me everything they had. I know a lot of them are watching this live stream because they told me they would be. I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I'll miss you dearly. And keep grinding. And that program has still got a lot of good things ahead of it, and not to put any pressure on whoever takes me to all the way to the championship again next year. And sorry to whoever's getting that thing, but I'm leaving you a good team. All right, take care of it. I got a lot of responses from a lot of people yesterday. A lot of you are probably in the room. I think my phone number started spreading pretty good. Thanks, Kevin. It's okay. But the last night before I went to bed, I was trying to thin through as many text messages as I could. And then before I turned it off, I think I was at 283 messages yesterday. So if I haven't gotten to you yet, bear with me. It's coming, okay? But I'll get through it. But the response that I got yesterday from the Natchitoches community meant a lot. It told me how special this place is and how much you guys want something to be different, okay? So I appreciate the responses. It's my LSU teammates. I heard from a lot of them yesterday, and I promise you I'll make you proud. And it's really special for me to hear from my teammates. College football is special. There's nothing like it in the world. And the bonds you make in those locker rooms, there's nothing like it. And to see the joy on their faces and their messaging yesterday meant the world to me. I promise you guys I'll make you proud. I'm not going to let you down. My family, my daughter Gracie right here. The one thing Kevin didn't mention, she just graduated from Louisiana Tech. That's why I paused. You can boo now. All right. So we can boo that, but she's my daughter. I'm awful proud of her. I love her. You can cheer that. But I'm thankful that she's here with us today. I have 3 other children that couldn't be here today because they're still in school. My second daughter, Emma, she's a junior over at Mississippi College, right there outside of Jackson where we're at. I'm awful proud of her. She's an English major, and she's going to go change the world somehow. I promise you that. She's our little Jesus hippie, and we love her. Then I have a third daughter, Audrey. She's 15. She's in the 10th grade. She's on the dance team. She's at school right now. And I have a son, Sammy, who's just turned 14 last month. He's 6'1", 230, and he plays me. So he's shy and he's quiet. Right here, he'd be red me talking about him right now. But he's a special kid, and he might have his hand in the ground right up there one day. So he'll get after you. He's actually got his first basketball game tonight, so hopefully he fouls out. I want to thank their mother, Rebecca, for partnering with me and raising 4 awesome kids and supporting me on part of this journey and supporting them and supporting me. That means a lot. I appreciate her. She's a teacher at Parkview Baptist in Baton Rouge, where my 2 youngest go to school. My wife, Gina, right over here. She's the best athlete in this room, I promise you. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not kidding. She's the most successful coach on this campus today. Okay, she was a field hockey coach at Richmond when I was there. That's where we met. And I'm going to brag on you. I'm going to do this. She hates this, but she was an All-American field hockey player at Fall State back in her day. And then she went into a pretty good coaching career herself at Bucknell, Susquehanna, Indiana, a few other places, I guess. And then she was the head coach at Richmond when I was there for 11 years. And 7 times she walked off the field a conference champion. She was the Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year, and she has an .860 winning percentage in conference play. So, I got some work to get. You give her a hand. I got some work to catch up to her. When we moved to Mississippi, that retired her from coaching because there's no field hockey in Mississippi. But as she exited the sport, she went and tried out for the U.S. national team and made the U.S. national masters team. So 2018, we traveled to Barcelona so I could watch her represent our country. That's one of the proudest moments of my life. But we're excited to be here. We're excited to be in Natchitoches. We're excited to be a part of the community. I'm excited to find a church home here in Natchitoches and find a good place to worship and invest in these kids. And she'll be around. You'll see her. I'd encourage all of our female coaches to get to know her because you will not spend 5 more minutes with her and not be encouraged. But we're looking forward to being part of this community. So that's a little bit of who I've got here with me. A little bit of my history. Kevin mentioned it a little bit. The biggest part of my career has been in FCS football. I think I've been at 6 schools in FCS, Tennessee Martin, Tennessee Tech, Chattanooga, Liberty, Richmond, and Delaware before I went to Belhaven. So a lot of what attracted me to Northwestern State was FCS is my comfort zone. This is where I feel I fit the best because I've got the most time invested there. I love this level of football. I think it still has a lot of purity to it while still playing at an extremely high level. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, we still do live in the portal world. We still do live in the world of NIL, and those things are real. But a lot of these kids are still playing for the right reasons with a good chip on their shoulder and something to prove. And I'm excited to be back at this level. Walking around the facility yesterday, I'll be honest with you, I just felt comfortable. Okay, it felt more like the environments that I'm used to being around prior to my time at Belhaven, and I greatly loved my time at Belhaven. So that's a little bit of what attracted me here. And as I mentioned earlier, just the opportunity to be back in this great state. Okay. I love the state of Louisiana. I first came to Louisiana in August of 1995 as a freshman in college, not knowing a lot about it. And I fell in love in a hurry with the culture, with the people, with the passion, with the love for college football, with the fact that you always know where you stand. Okay, so if I'm doing good, I know you're going to let me know. If I'm doing not so good, I know you're going to let me know. Okay, so I get that. But there's a lot of things that drew me here. I like a challenge. I'm a competitor. I like to compete at a high level. And the fact that the success hasn't been real good here lately inspires me. It motivates me. It makes me want to come in here and see if I can do something that other people recently haven't been able to do. He mentioned our time at Liberty, at Richmond, and at Delaware. When I first went to Liberty, my first year there, we went 1-10. And we had a staff change, and that's where Danny Rocco, who I mentioned, came in, and he actually fired me, and then he brought me back. And when he brought me back, we were able to be a part of 4 straight conference championships after going 1-10. Then we took our same staff with Coach Rocco and went to the University of Richmond. In 2008, had won a national championship and fell on some hard times. Went 3-8. Our first year there, we went 8-3, won a conference championship. 5 years later, we were number 3 in the nation, and we lost in the semifinals to North Dakota State, who had a pretty good football team. So we were able to turn 2 around. And then we took that same staff from Liberty and Richmond to the University of Delaware. If you guys truly know your FCS football, you know the University of Delaware. Powerhouse, okay? And they had fallen on some hard times. They'd gone 4-7 a couple of years in a row. First year there, we went 7-4. So 3 times at this level, I was able to be a part of a staff that significantly turned the program around. And I wanted to see if I could do that myself as a head coach, okay? Belhaven offered me that opportunity. So I stepped down to the Division III level, took a gamble on myself. And those players I mentioned a minute ago, it paid off. That's what brought me here today. So I'm very, very excited about that. Okay, what you're going to get from me is hard work, passion, discipline, and just a pure love of this game. Okay, I mentioned a minute ago, my parents are here too. I often introduce them. I know Kevin did, Sam and Blaine McCorkle. They'll be around. You're going to see them. Okay, you're going to see them. And it means a lot for me to have them here. But I grew up a coach's kid. I mentioned a minute ago, I'm 47 years old, and I've been in this game for 47 years. And this is who I am, okay? First, I'm a follower of Christ. I make no bones about that. But I believe God called me to this profession to grow young men, okay? And that's what I'm here to do. I love football, and I love kids this age. I'm going to combine the two, okay? And I think I've got 2 really important jobs. One is to love these kids. Second is to win football games. And the 2 go together, and the 2 are very, very hard. Okay, you can't separate the 2. So sometimes loving them is not always easy, and it's not always what they want. Okay, but That's kind of who we are and who we're going to be, and we're excited to get going. When I met with the team yesterday, I talked about our culture and what you could kind of expect our culture to be. And really what we've defined as a 5-star culture that we talk about in our program. And I'll kind of share that with you just briefly, not in great detail, because I don't want to hold everybody here all day, but I do want you to know who I am and what you're getting, okay, what you can expect from our program. And when we originally built our program, we kind of had 4 pillars of success, like everybody has their little catchphrases and whatever. And it was character, trust, unity, and accountability were what we were kind of building our program on. And if you guys will remember, a few years ago, Iowa State upset Texas. And the running back from Iowa State, I wish I could remember his name, made the comment that 5-star culture just be 5-star talent. Okay, and at Belhaven, that's really where we felt we were at the time. We felt like maybe we didn't have the talent that some other people had, but we could take an advantage in culture. So we took those 4 pillars of success, character, trust, unity, accountability. We added a 5th one to it, which was toughness. Okay, so the 5 stars of our 5-star culture: character, trust, unity, accountability, and toughness. Okay, we're going to teach these kids to be tough. Okay, and the thing that you have to understand about toughness is sometimes toughness isn't what the world thinks it is. Okay, sometimes people think toughness is just a big bad bully walking around. No. Toughness sometimes is the guy in a white collar shirt and a tie that gets up and he puts his feet on the floor every day and he goes to work and he sits behind a desk and he makes good decisions to take care of his wife and his kids and his family. That's tough. That's real grown man toughness, okay? And that's the type of toughness that we're going to focus on, because those things carry over in the classroom, they carry over in the community, and if we're handling those things, they'll carry over right there on that field, okay? Because a guy that's tough and will get up and go to class, okay, and handle his business, when he shows up out there at practice, he's not worried about that test that he's got to study for that he's put off, or that paper that he hadn't turned in, or, oh shoot, I hope I don't get caught when I cheated on that test. He's handled his business, okay, because there's freedom and discipline. And a disciplined guy can just show up and go to work and play ball and give me what I want. Okay, the guy that's not tough, all right, is the guy that skips class. He's just soft. Okay, the guy that's not tough is the guy that doesn't turn that paper in. The guy that's not tough is the guy that goes downtown and acts a fool. That's just straight up soft, in my opinion. So we're going to teach them how to be real grown man tough, okay, because if they're disciplined in their life, they'll show up and give me the product that I want. Okay, and that's what we're going to teach and train these young men to be. Okay, I love college football players. I love this age of men. Okay, and I think our society is truly, truly lacking today real men as God designed them to be. Okay, and God designed us all unique. He put his thumbprint on us, and I'm going to help them find exactly what that is for them. Okay, and I think in doing so, in return, they'll give me a better product. Okay, so those are the 5 stars of our 5-star culture, and the other ones, character, trust, unity, and accountability, will play a huge part of that. All right, but that 5th one we added in toughness really encompasses all of them, and that's who we're going to be. Now, my hope is that real man toughness I talk about turns on that field. You see people get their own stocked off too, okay? Because we're going to do that. We're going to play a fast, physical brand of football. We're going to start off by playing football 101. We're going to teach kids how to block and tackle. Okay, I'm not a guru. I'm a football coach. Okay, I think that's very real, and I think that's something that our profession is struggling with right now. Everybody wants to out-guru each other, but nobody teaches anybody how to block and tackle. If you don't know how to block and tackle, you don't know how to play football. Okay, so we're all starting from the basics, and we're going to put kids in a good stance. We're going to take good steps. We're going to play with our hands, all right? And then we'll expand, and it will be an exciting brand of football because we actually know how to play the game at its purest form. Okay, so that's who we'll be. In terms of goals, everybody asks about goals. I've got 6 goals for our program that will not change from today until the day I leave here in about 20 years, right? When I retire. Okay, when I retire. Like Coach here. To retire right here in this town, I'll be okay with it. It's awesome to see you here. I'm glad you're here. I look forward to getting to know you, Coach. But the first one is that every man that enters our program leaves it better than they came. Okay, so it's real easy to have all these football-specific goals, like on third down, we want to be 42%, or we want to be this in the red zone. Yes, we'll have all those, but program goals are much bigger than all of that. Okay, the first thing we want to do is every man that enters our program leaves it better than he came. Okay, and for everybody, that means something different. Okay, in a perfect world, maybe a kid comes in here, he's an All-American, he's got a 4.0, gets drafted, and he writes us a big check. We'll take it, right? He left better than he came. For some kids, he may leave there in spring practice because this isn't for him. But I hope somewhere along the way, if he leaves in spring practice, he got something from our messaging that helps him leave here better than he came. Okay, because everybody's come from different places and they have different needs. So if they did that, I think we're in good shape. Now, the perfect vision of that is, all right, that on graduation day, when they walk across the stage and get their degree from Dr. Jones, they get that degree in one hand and they have a championship ring on the other. Okay, that's a real vision, and that's truly leaving here better than you came. Okay, the place that I just left, my last duty before I left Belhaven was ordering championship rings. Okay, I was really excited, and that was the last thing I did when I left. Okay, I ordered them for 21 seniors, that 100% of them have already graduated. because that vision will become a reality. That's who we are. That's what we've built there. Okay, the second one is that we want to lead the Southland Conference in GPA and APR on a yearly basis. I talked a lot about real grown man toughness and going to class and those things. That's real, okay? I'm a selfish football coach. I want to win games. Best way you win games is with older players that are established in your program, okay? We all watch the SEC on Saturdays. We see that SEC patch on jerseys, and underneath is that little banner that says graduate. You see it over and over and over, right? Well, if those guys at that level, if that's the best to do in college football, if they're graduating players, maybe there's something to that. Maybe that's a message we would need to follow, okay? So we're going to get these kids graduated. We're going to have them perform in the classroom at a high level, all right? We're going to lead the Southland in that area, because if guys are invested in their school and they're doing good, it's also harder for them to leave, right? An older player is a better player. We want to grow old players in this program. The third one is we want to yearly be in a position to win a conference championship, okay? And I think everything always starts with the conference you play in, because that's what's relative to you. Those are the schools in your wheelhouse that are most like you. So every year we want to be in a position to win a conference championship. All right, fourth, we want to be a sustained program of national prominence. Okay, anytime things come up when you talk about playoffs, postseasons, ranking, Northwestern State needs to be in that conversation. All right, I started that sentence with the word sustained. I didn't say flash in the pan. Okay, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud about of my time at Belhaven is it didn't come and go. Okay, we went 7-3, 8-2, 9-1. We were able to sustain it, keep it growing. All right, so we want to build a program that is there to last. All right, the fourth goal in that one is to win and advance in the postseason. Okay. You leave here a better man, all right, you handle your business in the classroom, all right, you become you're in contention for a national title, or for a conference title year in, year out, then you're in the postseason, get in and win. Get in and win, okay? The last goal in that group, all right, is to win a national championship. And I think if you do all the things before that, those things put you in position to play for and win a national championship, okay? And I'm not scared to say that. Okay? I'm not scared to say that here at Northwestern State. And I'm currently the coach that owns a 0-6 football team. Okay, I now own that. That's on me. I take that very seriously. I'm going to do everything I can to fix it. You have my word. Okay, but those are the goals that we're going to set out to achieve. And if you can't say national championship, you don't really believe you can do it. So if I ever I'm a player that kind of chuckles when he says that, he probably needs to leave because you really don't believe it. Okay, you got to believe it in your core. And it's not going to be easy. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm now the owner of an 0-6 football team. I've got a lot of work to do. All right, but I promise you I'm going to give you everything I got. Okay. One thing that somebody mentioned to me before I left Belhaven was, Coach, you did a great job here, but you just about killed yourself with this job. When you take another one, maybe you don't put everything into it. It's just go have fun, coaching ball. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. All right. I gave that place everything I had. I'm going to give you everything I have. All right, from day one till day done. Okay. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be your football coach. I can't wait to get to work with these young men. I can't wait to get to know them. I enjoyed getting to know them yesterday a little bit. And one last thing, I'll leave with this. This place has a lot of history and a lot of tradition. Okay, I know it's been rough here lately. All right, but Coach, you know it. You've seen a lot of history here. You go in that locker room, there's a sign in there that's got 4 Southland Conference championships on it. There's a pile of conference championships before that. How many was it, Jason? How many one year? 12. What 12? Yeah, I know that, Jason. All right. 1972, you won a Gulf South Conference championship. Don't talk to my dad about it. He's still bitter. He played at Livingston University, West Alabama did, and they were in the same conference. They didn't play Northwestern State. Northwestern State won the conference, but they didn't play, and he's still mad that you didn't play because he knows he would have beat you. But they tied Delta State, but they were back to waters up that year, though, right? That year, yeah. The year before. That's right. Year before they won a national championship. So, but anyway, he's still better at this place in 1972, and I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. Say they were better. But anyway, I say that to say to the former players, okay, let me leave you with this, the former players. Okay, there's a lot of people, and I've got a lot of messages in those 283 from former players here. I'm not going to let you guys down either. I'm a former college football player. I know what that means. I know when you put your heart and soul into a place that it stays with you forever. And I promise you guys, I'm going to bring a level of pride and tradition to this place that you guys will be proud of. There's a lot of guys watching this that have conference championship rings from this place. They would beat TCU. Okay, they did things like that. So when I went in that locker room the other day, I noticed there's this big logo in the floor, this white logo, and Kevin told me, and a alum or two told me that that's something you don't step on. We had the same thing at Belhaven. We put it in when I got there, and our rule at Belhaven, I don't know a roll of dice here saying this, okay, but freshmen could step on it once. After that, you got hit in the face, all right? See, so they took a lot of pride in that logo, and Kevin showed me through the locker room the other day. I asked him, I said, well, if we don't step on it, why is it dirty? Okay, and when I went to my first team meeting yesterday, there was a couple guys wearing sweatshirts from other schools. All right. Well, doggone it, if you're a demon, you're going to be proud to be a demon. Okay. We're going to take pride in this place. And we're going to protect that logo. We're going to protect that locker room. We're going to protect what you guys built, okay, that maybe has slipped right now. All right. We're going to give you something to be proud of. I promise you that. So bear with us. We're going to go to work. We're going to recruit really hard. We're going to build grown men on that football field wearing purple and orange that you guys can all be proud of. Again, I'm honored to be here. This is a dream come true to me. All right, but being here is not the dream. Finishing it. Okay, we're going to finish it. Okay, that's the real dream. And I can't wait to get to know all of you and go to work. All right, thank you very much.
Well, all right, thank you.
Like how who's down the Jersey?
Piggy Sapper.
I love the Jersey.
Oh, well, I thought. And I'm mad. See, I was after that. We did wild. So I'm on my bike to the kidding machine. Chris Bush. Is that the way I'm there? Get so he on.
All right, we're going to bring Coach back up here. We're going to open it up for a few questions. Get some asked here. Then media. We'll take a little break, let you guys come up and set up. Get some pictures of Coach and his family, and open up for one-on-ones. So, welcome back, Coach.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We're gonna go there.
So just open up. I'm sorry we don't have a second mic. Just project if you can.
Okay.
So
Question. We got a question from student media.
Yes, sir. My days at LSU were one of the greatest experiences of my life. Life-changing experience, you know, to be in that atmosphere. I walked on there as a long snapper because I wasn't big enough, fast enough, strong enough to do anything else. And I kind of knew that if I it didn't work out, I could transfer to somewhere like Belhaven or Lambeth at the time or whatever, and maybe try to gain weight, play a little off the ball, tight end or linebacker or something like that. I was that 175-pound center high school everybody has, but I could snap them all a little bit. My cousin, Sandy McCorkle, who's actually the head coach at Dartmouth right now, was playing at the University of Florida at the time, and he walked on, and he was doing some really good things in the special teams world. I thought, shoot, if he can do it, I can do it. And I wanted to feel that, over the fields, Tiger Stadium. I wanted to know what that was like. And all those things were wonderful. I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. But more than Tiger Stadium, it was the relationships. It was my teammates. It was the day-to-day interactions. That's why I get a little emotional when I mentioned those guys a minute ago, that I want to make them proud.
Right here.
Yeah, it's a special place. Special place. And it's kind of fueled me for a long time. The people are what made it. The people are what makes this state. That's why I wanted to come back to this state, because it's not just there, it's all over this place. And this state is just full of passionate people that love each other and take care of each other, and they love college football. They love high school football. We got some unbelievable high school football right here in this state. I can't wait to get out and meet some of these coaches and see them and reconnect to some of them that I haven't known or have known for a long time but have been away from. But no, my time at LSU was life-changing and unique. I went there at a time when LSU actually, people forget this, had 6 straight losing seasons before we got there. And then we went to 3 straight bowl games for the first time in school history. My sophomore year, we won 10 games. And that was only the 5th time in the history of LSU that had been done. Now we do it every year. So I was there a really fun and exciting time. And I wouldn't trade for anything in the world.
Making high school football was,
Yep.
I bet you recruiting philosophy, the high school.
Yeah, we're going to be all over the state. We're going to be from Freeport to Ruston to Monroe to Manny to West Ouachita Pass coming in to South Louisiana to Lake Charles to Rain to Opelousas to outside of New Orleans to South Lafourche. You name it, we're going to be there. Okay, this is, I think that, and I don't know what the stat is. You guys probably know this better than I do, but I think it's been 30 or 40 years that the state of Louisiana has per capita more NFL players than any state in the country. It's a lot of good football right there. Okay, and we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it, and we're going to get out, and we're going to get to know people. And that's one thing that's pretty cool. You guys talked about my teammates a minute ago, is now we're the age where we have high school, college-age kids. A lot of them got some pretty good sons out there playing high school football, and I know where they're at, all right? And they ain't all going to LSU, I promise you that. Okay, so, but I'm excited to get in the state. The heart and soul of our program will be right here in Louisiana, no doubt about it. Okay, there's some good high school football right here. I'm not going to say a name because I can't, but at Belhaven we actually offered a kid from Natchitoches this year. Pretty good football player. So I'm excited to get out, and then we're going to reach out, other areas. Texas, everybody knows what Texas high school football is. Longview, Dallas, Houston, Allen. I mean, you just go on and on and on. So we're definitely going to reach out that way. And then I would be foolish not to continue connections in Mississippi because it's not that far away. You know, the junior college system is great. Not that we're going to make a living there because you can't, but there are some bits and pieces you can fill in there. And there are some pretty good high school connections there. And the thing about Mississippi is there's no FCS football outside of the SWAC. So there's limited options for kids that can play at this level. They end up just going to the junior college and they'll shoot, just go start your 4-year career here and then bypass all that mess, right? So that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to start right here at home. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
How do you plan to engage students to build support for the team?
Engage students. Best thing I can do to engage students is give them a good product on Saturday. Okay. But I think it's very important that our football players are part of the campus community. I think that's really important. I think one of the worst things you can do, especially in smaller campuses, you want to call this a smaller campus? I don't know if it is or not. Compared to where I came from, it's a giant campus. We have 1,000 students in Belhaven. But the worst thing you can do is isolate yourself. You know, so I think if there's activities going on campus, there's intramurals going on campus, whatever, I got to learn kind of what the campus calendar is. We need to be a part of it. We need to be present. We need to be seen. I need to be present and seen. And, you know, I love college athletics, all right? I don't know if Coach Bertram's here or not, but I don't miss many college baseball games now. That's hard to beat right there. And same thing with the basketball programs. I've already heard from a couple of the other coaches text me, and I really appreciate that. I look forward to getting to know all of them. And I think, you know, I'm all for our guys going to support the other sports too, you know. And that's one thing we did at Belhaven is I don't think there was a sport on campus that we didn't take our entire team to at least once, and a lot of them multiple times. And if you get 100 guys in a football jersey, they make a difference in a basketball game now. I got no problem with that. So if you're proud to be at Northwestern State, you need to be proud to be at all of Northwestern State, not just isolate the football.
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
What are some of your strategies to make your student athletes stronger, tough off the field? And I illustrate secrets here.
No, that is a
What are your strategies to make them tough off the field? Whether it's classroom, career, we've got students that are family, individuals. What are your strategies there?
Well, to talk about that, that's a microcosm of toughness that happens off the field. Okay, so what I get there is a direct reflection of how tough they are off the field. Accountability is real. Okay, accountability is real. And, you know, we do some different things. There's some different tactics we have. You know, when every freshman comes in, we give them a big brother older in the program to kind of help mentor them and show them the way, things like that. One thing that we do in the spring, and I'll have to see our school calendar here, plan spring practice. That's one of the first things I need to do is set our calendar. But what we called it at Belhaven was Mansfield Friday. And every Friday, we would bring people in from the community to speak to our guys by class, kind of where they work. Okay, so our seniors would have things that were more career-driven. So somebody from community college would teach you how to build a resume, how to tie a tie, how to go pick out a suit, how to do things like that. And then our younger classes were kind of tiered, where they would learn how to change a flat tire, all right, how to take a little kid fishing. We didn't want to take a little kid fishing. We did things like how to go camping, just basic life skills that they don't know. We had a guy from Ace Hardware come in and just talk about basic tools. So there's a lot of life skills that these guys just don't show up with, you know, and that's why I made the comment a minute ago that our society is lacking real men today. So it's our job to create that. So our Mansfield Friday project was really, really good. We had a whole curriculum that went through it. We talked about things like how to ask a girl out on a date, because guys don't know how to do that anymore because they live on this stinking thing, right? I don't know how guys today actually find a girlfriend without being scared to death they're going to get in trouble, but we talked about those things on those Friday afternoons through the spring. So we'll be in spring practice. And Fridays we did practice, so we come back on Friday, have our meetings, and then we divide up by class and talk about those specific life skill things. How to go grocery shop, you know, how to oil water, you name it. It's amazing what college males don't know how to do these days. And that's a big part of what we do. We call our Winning with Character program, but the Mansfield Fridays kind of evolved from that. And it was a really good exercise for us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Coach.
You check this, you know, order on
I have not checked with Coach Ordron yet.
you mean that?
I'm waiting on him to call me. But I will. And I will. I'm sure he's got enough money, so I'm sure he'd come in here and be a volunteer defensive line coach for first. He's got enough to get a hamburger, right? Cheeseburger, that's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
How long before you think you'll have your staff in place?
Soon, I hope. I don't want to comment on specific names right now. I have 3 or 4 locked in, ready to go that will actually be here Monday. I have met with the entire existing staff. I appreciate them taking time to sit down with me. That was one thing that was really important for me to do because this is a wonderful profession and a terrible job sometimes. Being a college football coach is a calling. It's not a job. And I know that the previous staff here put their heart and soul into this thing, as did Coach Laird. He loves this place dearly. I've studied this place really close. And one thing I'll say, I got a lot of respect and appreciation for Coach Laird to come back to his alma mater and give everything he had. And I can tell from some of his press conferences and interviews, he loved this place and he loved these kids. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want it to, but I did want to make sure I sat down with every existing coach here, had to see where they were. There will be an opportunity to potentially keep one or two, depending on how some of my other guys fall into place. But I'd like to get that done in the next 10 days if I can and get it locked down because we got to get on the road to recruiting fast. With the early signing day coming up, you can't waste much time with that.
I need to make a quick decision on this. This is Senator Bernard. He had 1 year of eligibility left.
If he's the Senators, I mean, he plays dirty out there. Is that what that means?
That's right. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Yes, sir.
I know it's kind of early and you're probably stressed a lot, say, student, but do you have a rough estimate of how many players be returning?
I do not. So what I can tell you is in the team meeting yesterday, we probably had 50 or so guys. I think there were a few guys that chose not to skip class. Yesterday was one time I was okay with them skipping class. But there are a few not there. So I believe we're working with around 60. One thing I've got to do is get the current roster, and I've got to find out who's on scholarship, who's not. I've got the roster for last year that I've been studying and kind of put the pieces together, and I kind of know where we are, kind of know where we need to go recruiting. But I've got to find out what the scholarship balance is and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of guys in or getting ready to get in the portal. And one thing that I shared with those guys yesterday, guys go get in the portal because they're looking for something fresh and new and different, right? Here it is. All right, this is not the same Northwestern State you played at last year. So hang in there, slow down. Don't be so quick to jump in. Some of them probably need to go. I recognize that. Okay, and that's okay. All right, this is not for everybody. But, one thing I mentioned with Kevin, there's probably some guys that maybe didn't connect previously that might connect well with us, or vice versa. Maybe there's some guys that connected well with the previous staff that won't like a thing that I have to say. Well, they probably need to go. So that's one thing. That's one of my first priorities is to get that roster, see where the scholarships are, see what the needs are, because I think one of the most important jobs of a head coach is roster management. You're exactly right about that. So kind of looking forward to diving in that a little bit deeper.